The countdown is over, the stage is set, and history is waiting to be written. This is the biggest week in area iRacing history. 4 nights, 4 races, and the chance to make your mark on the sim racing world. It all starts where legends are made, Daytona. The 7th annual Area 500 kicks off the Area Cup Series season at the World Center of Racing. 100 laps, inches apart. One mistake ends it all, but one perfect move that wins you the biggest race of the year. Tuesday, the Area Truck Series storms into Daytona for a wild night of drafting, pushing, and last lap chaos. No margin for error, no guarantees, just pure unpredictability. Survive the storm, and $150 is yours. Wednesday, the battle moves to the dirt. The VDRA Late Model Series takes on Volusia Speedway Park for the Sunshine Showdown, a crown jewel event with double points on the line and a $50 prize purse waiting for the toughest driver in the field. Thursday, the Florida Estate Area Pro Series closes out the week at Daytona. The Xfinity style machines bring the high-speed chess match to life, with $150 on the line and a full field ready for war.
We're off to Never, Never Land.
This isn't just another week. This is the biggest audience, the biggest broadcasts, and the biggest opportunity area iRacing has ever had. The brightest lights, the biggest stakes, the toughest competition. And when the dust settles, we'll know who's ready to rise to the moment and who will be left behind. 4 nights, 4 battles, 1 chance to make history. This is the biggest week in area iRacing history. The world is watching. The time is now.
And it is that time of the year where you get just a little bit excited because you know the area season is starting off here in 2025. You had the duels just last week. You rolled your way over the week, into the weekend, and it's that Monday night action that you're ready to rock and roll with. I'm John Ramos. We'll be calling the action here live on the IDK Player YouTube channel as we get ready to rock and roll for all the action tonight. The Area 500, 100 laps. Hunter Sleppy will be with me. He'll be pit reporting. Hunter, how excited are you for tonight?
It's been such a long off season, probably one of the longer off seasons in area history, but looking forward to kick off the 7th season with the 7th annual Area 500. $100 on the line for the winner, so 1 lap can make all the difference between becoming the Area 500 champion or just losing it in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, let's talk about a countdown to green. We're less than 15 minutes away from when these drivers go ahead and grid. A couple seasons ago, we had an overtime, followed by another overtime the year before, and the year before that, we didn't have an overtime in Season 6. A lot of drivers, a lot of viewers are expecting this to be a barn burner in the last maybe 3, 5, 7 laps at that. Can you predict, can you expect an overtime finish tonight? Or do you think this is going to be more of a clean slate where things get rough and rowdy at the end?
Might be a little rough and rowdy leading into overtime. 4 of the 6 Area 500 races have gone into overtime, and you mentioned that for 4 straight seasons, from Season 2 to Season 5, we've had an overtime finish. We do have 3 attempts at our green. Let me not speak too much on the green white checker rule, but we do have that just in case anything goes awry in the late stages of the race. And for the first 3 Area 500s, it came down to a pass made on the last lap. Meanwhile, the past 3 seasons, that hasn't been the case. Seth Knoll held the lead twice with 2 laps to go, so he led the final lap and the checkered flag lap. Meanwhile, in Season 5, Travis Beckner won it with 5 to go. He made the race-winning move and didn't let anyone by, so it could really be anyone's race. Seth Knoll and Travis Beckner are the only 2-time Area 500 champs. One of those guys looking to become the first 3-time champ in Season 7.
Big thing about Beckner, he's currently fastest in practice as things continue to wind on down. We got a lot of great drivers. Racing in I-43 will be taking the green flag. For the ones coming in for the Area 500, we're glad to have you. But think about the entire season, the entire Cup Series that'll be broadcasted here on the IDK Player YouTube channel. After this race today, we'll have a winner. But we still have a season to roll through. Homestead next week, New Hampshire, Indianapolis. And Area is a very fun series with the fact that they have a regular season, they have a playoffs, charter system. It's hard to get to the Area Cup Series. You got to work through the Xfinity series of Area. You got to work through their Truck Series. You got to roll all the way through just to have a shot at taking the green flag. Whole lot of entries, well over 60 for the Area 500. That's what we saw with the duels. But getting in the moment for the race tonight, it's going to be a little bit interesting because you have some drivers that are going in, they just want to win the Area 500. Others are thinking about that championship at the end of the year. And that's where we go ahead and ask you, Hunter, a couple of these guys going in, who do you think early on favorite is to win this championship?
Well, you got to look at Jake Nichols in the 73 for Solar Flare Racing. He's been a contender week in and week out, and he's won 3 straight championships from Season 2 to Season 4. Been in a dry spell a couple of seasons. Been a lot more difficult for him to get wins as of late. He only had a couple wins, actually 3 wins to his name last season, while his teammate Seth Knoll could be another championship contender as well. He had the most Cup wins last season with 6. You look at guys like Michael Curran, a previous champion from Season 5. David Weissart, look at the turn back the clock, the inaugural Cup Series champion. And then you're looking at guys who could possibly make a push, like maybe Kwame Scott. If he could race the whole season, he'd definitely be a threat for the championship. Maybe someone like Connor Horn could pick something up from him. Maybe Bailey Turner, Adam Cabot. I mean, the options are endless here in the area, but it all depends on how you get off at Daytona.
Let's talk about Connor Horn, at least for just a moment. He's someone that I'm really looking out at because before the Area 500, what did he start doing? Well, he knew the viewers on this channel, they're a little foreign to league racing. Monday night is not league night in America. It comes all down to the Area Cup Series. But at the same time, he went into NR Night in America, started racing with some of those drivers. He started to become a fan favorite in the evening of Friday when we were doing the hosted races. I know a lot of viewers back at home are really looking at Connor Horn. He'll be taking the green flag in the World Grand Prix for the e-ticket event this Friday. If he can nap off a huge Area 500 win, it'll be huge. Currently 6th quick, but I look at Brandon Bowie because I feel like he's been in this position before where you got these big races, you're fast in practice, you got to know where to be at the end, you got to be there when it matters the most, but you just have to look no further, in my opinion, than the driver of the number 1 Seth Knoll, let's be honest, really good when it came down to the duels. Can he get it done when it's time to go green?
Yeah, I believe he has a good chance to do so. He really didn't start picking up wins here and there until he joins the Solar Flare Racing Group, and obviously Jake Nichols is a part of that. James Scioli is a part of that as well. Tyler Nichols a part of that. Also, all 4 of those guys won races last year, but since the move to Solar Flare Racing, he's become a championship contender. His average finish last season was 4th. He finished in the top 10 in 15 of the 17 Cup events. He led 359 laps across the season last year and was in a spot to win the championship. Didn't quite get the Cup side of things. He got the Truck Series championship, but he's looking to tick it up a notch for Season 7.
Gonna be a lot of fun to see how that rolls. We're continuing the countdown to green. It'll be 6 minutes till we're trackside for the Area 500. You hear that in the background? Those are drivers still practicing every single lap, every single second, every single moment, just to have the opportunity to get ready to rock and roll. Big thing to talk about, Aero Package. It's not really a new update anymore. It's been around since early February, but this is the first time the Area 500, the Area Cup Series, will be in full race mode with this package. You may be saying, didn't we just duel last week? Yes, we did, and they got a nice piece of it, but this is the opportunity to see how it rolls with 40 plus drivers, 43 guys. What we've learned from this Aero package, doesn't promote the big pushing and shoving, slam drafting. Yeah, you're going to see that, but you're not going to go in and see those massive hurricane runs off turn 2, off the end of the super stretch into turn 3. It's going to be a little bit more technical, and we've seen before where teams have to start working together. It's easier to lose the draft if you're 3 wide. Seeing that side drafting, I got to ask you, Hunter, how important his team's going to be tonight?
Teamwork is going to be everything. We saw it in the duel. I believe it was duel 1 with the Powerhouse boys. They wound up taking, I think, the first 3 or 4 positions. They all choreographed their move with 2 to go. Nate Stewart ended up getting the job done for that team and put himself in a nice starting position on the inside, I believe, of the second row for this Area 500. So should be interesting seeing how that is done, although they'll be without one of their teammates, I should say, the reserve driver for Triforce Racing, Jacob Brower, a late scratch, and taking his place is Josh Cottle, the Lucky Duck Motorsports reserve driver. So he gets placed into the Area 500, and that's we understand his personal circumstances for Jacob Brower, but he was going to start in the third row, so that's a very crucial starting spot given up.
It's going to change things up. We are very happy for Bauer. We know why exactly he is a scratch. How about that? His wife just went into labor, so congratulations to the Bauer family. For Cottle, a big opportunity just because you're now a late entry in. You still have the same shot as everybody else. Just 4 minutes till we go trackside for the Area 500. Once again, you can catch the entire Area Cup Series live on the IDK Player YouTube channel here in 2025. Homestead Miami Speedway is next. That will be March 17th. Then you go to New Hampshire, Indianapolis, Watkins Glen, and I look at this schedule. I'm really excited about it. When you get to the playoffs, things get a little bit rowdy. We start the regular season with Daytona. We end it with Talladega. Talk about this points format, Hunter, as we got an opportunity just minutes before going trackside.
Yeah, so it's basically a win and you're in situation, but only 12 drivers can lock their way into the playoffs. And to make sure that it's as fair for everyone, if you miss a couple of races, that's fine. But if you win a race and say you missed the 4 races at some point, you're not eligible. You have to be inside the top 20 in points as well, and we saw that happen a season ago. Mentioned Tyler Nichols. He won at Talladega with a last lap move. He entered 19th in the point standings, needing a win to get into the playoffs, and did just that. So it can happen at Daytona, could happen at Talladega. The possibilities are endless for who could pick up a win at the super speedway races.
And that's going to be exciting. So let's say, in theory, we got a one-off winner here tonight at Daytona. He runs the whole season. He'll have an opportunity to race for the championship once the playoffs do start at Bristol, that being June 23rd. But Talladega, I know it's way away, at least for right now, but you got to think about it. You start the regular season with the super speedway. You end the regular season with the super speedway. The meat in the middle is all the road courses. It's the short tracks. It's the intermediates. It's the, the technical side of racing. You don't want to head into Talladega in a must-win situation, because when we get to Talladega, we're going to have some part-timers come on in, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we do have the charters, but you're going to have some guys coming on in that just want to race Talladega and win Talladega as much as you see for the Area 500. And the underdogs, this is where you have to start thinking all chips in the middle right off the gun. Yes, it's the beginning of the season, but if you know you can't perform at a Watkins Glen, you know you can't perform at a Chicagoland, you can't perform at a Circuit of the Americas later on in the year, you look at 2 tracks and you think to yourself, okay, this is our best options. We got to really go at it. We got to go at it tonight.
Yeah, that's happened in the past where guys who, actually just one guy who's won this race from a part-time standpoint, that was Brad Slaughter back in season 2. He won the 500 and said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at the championship. Why not? So he switched to a full-time commitment. It didn't work out the way that he planned on it to, but that's the effect that winning the Area 500 can have on some drivers. It could give you a confidence booster saying, you know what? Maybe this year is my year, and then they switch from part-time to full-time, and everything could fall into their laps, or everything could be up in smoke in the playoffs, but you never truly know until the Area 500 comes to a conclusion here tonight.
Let's go ahead and talk about Brad Slaughter Jr. He is racing full-time, at least as of this moment, if I'm not mistaken. At least we know Brad Slaughter Jr. as a front runner, I guess you could say, now starting to become a little bit of a well-known name, at least on our side of the YouTube channel. He's 18th quick. He's been running well so far in practice, kind of just picking up, kind of going through the motions as we get ready to rock and roll. But we do have some newcomers moving up from the Xfinity side of area, also the truck side. Who is someone to watch tonight?
Well, looking at it from the truck side, we had Jonathan Evans coming up to Triforce Racing. He had 5 top 10s in his 13 truck starts. I believe he made a couple of cup starts last season. He did impress some people, so Triforce was able to acquire him. We also have a couple more from the truck series moving up to Solid Rock Performance. John Hall won 8 times in his 32 truck starts from Season 5 and Season 6, and Patrick Moose had a couple of wins last season in the trucks. They both move up to Solid Rock Performance. And then Logan Clampett, he raced part-time in the Pro Series last season, had got a couple of wins there, so he's now part of the Lucky Duck Motorsports group, and it's going to be interesting seeing how the transition from the Xfinity car and trucks to the Cup car work out for those drivers.
Excited to see what Lucky Duck can do. You've seen all the promotion on X. You've seen it on the social media side. Very, very excited to see how that team rolls, including into the evening here. For the Area 500, I did say we were going track side. We're going to hold off for an extra 4 minutes before it's time to go ahead and grid them up. Let's talk about things that are coming on the IDK Player YouTube channel. At least this week, tomorrow we will have NR Night in America, the Area 500, just moments away from starting. And then this Friday, March 7th, we will have the 27th e-ticket event, the World Grand Prix. There are some drivers in this field that have signed up for that event. The big one is Connor Horn, who is currently sitting 6th on the practice sheets. We're going to take just 30 seconds. We'll be right back with you to go ahead and check out things Le Mans wise before we go trackside for the Area 500.
Orlando ain't never seen anything move that fast.
Welcome to the 27th e-ticket event, the World Grand Prix.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. The Iceberg and I will be in the booth. That will be this Friday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, with NR Night in America happening tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central as well. Teams, we went in there, we spoke with some drivers. They still think teams is going to be a lot heavier than some think. Hunter, this is the opportunity to dive into some teams and some cars to look out for tonight.
Yeah, so obviously the top of the top is Solar Flare Racing. They've been the top team all season long from seasons past. Jake Nichols, Tyler Nichols, James Scally, Seth Knoll, the same 4 drivers from a season ago. Same with 609 Motorsports. Nothing's changed with them. Connor Horn, Adam Cabot, Bailey Turner, Jeremy Miller, who performs well in the super speedways, one to keep an eye out for. Michael Curran, the Season 5 champ, is the only Lucky Duck driver coming back. We've got 3 new drivers on that team: Hayden Swank, Logan Clampett, and then Cosmin Yonishiwu, who was previously on the pole for the Area 500 a while back. Same with Matthew Bell, the only driver returning to Solid Rock Performance. He's got 3 new teammates, mentioned a couple of them earlier. John Hall, Patrick Moose coming up from the trucks, and then Dylan Alt coming up as well. Powerhouse Racing, they have Peyton Howell and Blaze McKinney returning, but they also have a couple new guys taking place: Barrett Polimas and Sam Brochu. Tank Racing recently renamed themselves to Bergarts Motorsports. That's Seth Berger, Max Service. They've got a couple new teammates, and one of them is a big-time driver in Kwame Scott. He'll be in the 36 for this Cup season. Reese Schaefer as well in the 97. And then a few new teams. Some of the old teams have sold their charters, like Fazekas Motorsports sold their charter to Triforce Racing. So we got a completely new group of people. Jacob Bell as well, a part of that team. He's going to the super speedways. Ed Robertson, Ben Pierce, and I mentioned Jonathan Evans earlier. He's on that Triforce Racing team. Bowie Silver Sim Racing acquired charters from Slinger Racing Graphics Esports. And a couple of those guys still on the team: Ricky Springer and Nick Silver. Then a couple of new guys you mentioned before: Brandon Bowie, one to watch for tonight, and Frankie Barroso. Slaughter Sim Racing were awarded charters from Swan Motorsports as they were last place in the team standings. And when you're last place in the team standings, you lose your charters. for the next season. So pretty much everyone from Swan Motorsports is back. Garrett Grant, David Weishart, and Ryan Swan himself, along with Brad Slaughter, chartered in the number 3. Some big names are listed as open cars. Not with us tonight is the Season 6 champ of Jake Matheson. Mentioned Travis Beckner a couple of times, 2-time Area 500 winner. He's listed as an open car. He's a reserve for Slaughter Sim Racing. Connor Okresnik as well, a reserve for Solid Rock Performance. Eric Weiland from 609 Motorsports, so close to racing in, couldn't quite get it done. Vincent Cortez, I'm not sure if he's here tonight, but he's a reserve for Berg Arts Motorsports. Philip Groner is going to be one to watch. He's from the Solar Flare Group, the reserve driver for them. And then we mentioned Nate Stewart. He won the first duel as a reserve driver from Powerhouse Racing. And then a late addition, Josh Cobble, the reserve from Lucky Duck Motorsports, filling in for number 48, Jacob Brower.
Big time indeed, and we're ready to go trackside here at the World Center of Racing. We'll be speaking to drivers when we do have that opportunity, when they get ready to rock and roll, maybe under yellow, if we see any cautions. What's great about Daytona, it's so unpredictable. Going to be a blast as 43 drivers had trackside with us. I'm John Ramos. Hunter Sleppy will be on pit road. Race fans, welcome to the 2025 Area 500. And all things ready to go at that as we get ready for everything on the board. You see left side of your screen, that is at least the top 20 starting as of this moment. We'll get ready to run through the entire starting grid as we get ready to ride League Night in America. It's going to be a fun one, 100 laps. Nate Stork, Cabot, Jonas Shiu, Howard, so many others. I saw down in the live chat, so many were saying, wow, your voice sounds so much better than it was just a week ago. Yes, that's right. It does sound a lot better. Had NR Night this last Friday. Went to go call races in person. The dirt car super late models were rolling around out there at Clarksville Speedway. But all eyes are on right here, right now. We'll go through your starting grid for tonight's Area 500. I want to say thank you to everyone that has tuned on in tonight so far. We can't wait to continue to have you all well into the evening as it is showtime. Let's go ahead and take a look at your starting grid presented by Central Mobile Homes Inc. Seth Noel, James Scioli. That rounds out row number 1. Row number 2, Nate Stewart and Adam Cabot get ready to run just behind the drivers of the Toyotas. Row number 3, Cosmin Yonashiu with Peyton Howell. Howell showing great things there in that duel. Row number 4, it's all Dwayne Culberson and Sam Brochu, another big name that we saw in that live chat. Viewers looking to see what he can do. You know Hayden Swank and Logan Clampett in that 42 machine. Row 6, Travis Beckner will be toe-to-toe with Patrick Moose. Row 7, Matthew Bell and Jake Nichols get ready to line up and roll. Row number 8, Merritt Polimas with Reese Schaefer. Polimas being to the inside of that set row. Row 9, Ben Pierce with Ryan Swan. I'm willing to argue Swan has the nicest looking scheme tonight. Really fitting with the Vice City look. Row 10, it's Bailey Turner and John Hall. Row 11, Jonathan Evans lined up with Tyler Nichols. Nichols looking to see what he can do just about middle of this field. Ed Robertson and Max Service being back in row number 12. Row 13, it's all Brandon Bowie with Ricky Springer to his outside. And in row 14, Tanner Betha has Philip Groner to his right wing. Row 15, Michael Curran will be lined up with Justin Anisogak. And you roll into row 16, Dylan Alt, David Weishart running that number 29. Row 17, Kwame Scott is back with Jacob Bell. Bell will be ready to roll in number 6. In row 18, oh, that 87 is not Daniel Mossella. That's Blaze McKinney, and McKinney said that just on X a couple hours ago for all the viewers watching back at home. Big 87 fans, watch out for him. Brad Slaughter Jr. will be to his outside. Row 19, you have Nick Silver and Garrett Grant, with row 20 coming as Seth Berger and Connor Horn. Row 21, Frankie Barroso and Jeremy Miller will line it up as row 22 sees Josh Cottle now start shotgun on the field. That's your starting lineup presented by Central Mobile Homes, Inc. Hunter, you're still with us. Let's sit, let's chat. Who should we chat with? Oh, that front row. Who, inside lane of Noel or outside with Scioli?
Let's go ahead with the one of Noel, last season's winner.
Let's go ahead and hear what he's got to say before we go green here in just a matter of moments. That Seth Noel was really good in his lineup when it all came down to the dual side. Noel, John Ramos, you got a copy. All right, man. Hey, listen, you're getting ready to start the Area 500. You're going to be starting it from the first position. How you feeling? Are you excited? Is there any jitters?
A little bit. I don't have a lot of confidence today. I don't have it today. I don't know how to explain it. Last year I felt pretty confident. This year I just
You're not able to know just yet. The slower flare guys give me a lot of fun. You got a teammate to your outside. Let's talk to him in just a matter of moments. James, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, hey man, listen, you're sitting on the front row. We just talked with your teammate. He said he doesn't really know. Still a lot of racing left to go. We haven't even dropped the green flag yet. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. Just happy to be starting on the front row, kind of ahead of this chaos at the beginning, and just gonna try and work together, try and control the front of the race here, and hopefully find ourselves up here still in 100 laps.
All right, hey, listen, Solar Flare, what should the viewers know about James Scioli?
I'm gonna just give my all here, go for the win. No holding back here. Not gonna try and save. Not gonna try and ride around the back. Just gonna try and lead every one of these laps, and hopefully walk away with my my first Area 500.
I know we're just moments away. That last name was said correctly, correct or not?
Scioli.
Scioli, we're gonna stick with Scioli on that one. Hey, listen, a lot of great viewers watching back at home. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
And that's Scioli. He will lock and load. Hunter, it's showtime. They're 2x2 working their way to the high banks. Turns 3 and 4. Final thoughts.
Prepare for the chaos to come late. Prepare for some great racing early on.
Crowd on its feet. Monday night is league night in America. The Area 500 to kick off the 2025 season. Let's rock and roll as we light the fuse from the world center of racing. First time down the Daytona super stretch, and the Toyotas have not changed their pace. Inside lane, Noel able to get a slam from behind. That's Nathan Stewart. With that 7 with company up top. Not a lot of breathing room when it comes to going toe-to-toe for that race lead. Top 3 breakaway. Yona Shiu just sitting there in 3rd. Has Culberson and others looking for their way around. Seth Noel didn't seem confident just in the interview, but he's going to lead lap 1, and Toyota will strike first. 100 laps, 250 miles, a lot of racing to roll with, and that 2x2, it really hasn't gone away. Inside lane, the dominant force. Outside lane, trying to get something rolling, but the numbers are really much worked downstairs. Watching on, Nathan Stewart there in 2nd, highest running Ford. Has not left bay there is Seth Noel, and mentioned in countdown to green, what are you going to be able to do to find victory lane? Well, it may come down to teamwork and being patient. Patience on a whole new different level very early in this race. 98 laps to go. Sit back, relax. You're watching the Area 500 live on the Idk Player YouTube channel. What's great about this field, if this is your first time watching the Area Cup Series, these drivers have a whole lot of stories behind their name. You may not know them now, you'll know them very well by the checkered flag waving at the end of the season. Some drivers race in person, other drivers have big name jobs, others are just a huge name in the sim world. And how about some of those guys that race in person? I think back to Barrett Polimas, who's ready to go 3 wide, that with the number 28 of Travis Beckner. Ramos, a pro late model driver with the Jeg Sea-Ray All-Stars Tour, spoke with him during the duels. I said, hey, what about sim racing? Does it actually get you prepared, at least in a mindset, heading into the big time races, the big money races at either an Owasso Speedway, maybe a Birch Run? And he said, yes, it does. It actually gets you in that mode. Will you be able to see the one-to-one scale like you roll with in person? No, but just as you put that visor down and go ahead and roll off in person, you can kind of get that mindset with how you race in the sim world. Logan Clampett outside of turns 3 and 4, and that number 42, he's got company, and he's the leader in that second lane. We have yet to see a fight for the lead. We have yet to see a jolt out of line, either by Stort or Yonashiu. Shinu in third, Culberson in fourth, Swank back to fifth. 3 wide, it's mostly been drivers being forced out of line, and Logan Clampett is the next one to bite. And nobody looks to be working with them as of this moment. Seth Knoll absolutely dominated his duel. He's holding on just 4 laps into this race. If you're just tuning on in, we say hello, we say welcome. It's rush hour from the World Center of Racing. You're watching the Area 500 live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. League Night in America is going to be Monday night for the rest of 2025, where you can catch the entire Area Cup Series. Always fun, always exciting, and you're not going to want to miss any of those days. Things changing, things shifting. 43 drivers in this field. Deeper in the pack, well, things have definitely been on a calmer side. Drivers letting off, not trying to really play with the drivers up front, but we haven't seen that 2-group breakaway. It may soon be forming up. Connor Horn back there in the 41st spot. Blaze McKinney. These drivers originally started back here. They didn't work their way to the back half of the field. So what was the idea? Pretty simple. If we're back here now, let's not junk the race car. Let's not put ourselves in position where we're going to be struggling. Sit back, relax, and let's roll. But I wouldn't say the same there for Travis Beckner. Beckner at one point was up to 6. He was contending inside the top 10. And as quickly as he got shuffled back, it's 37th for him. Who's another one that can join that line? Logan Clampett. At one point was as high as 8th. Actually was up to 5th, but didn't cross the line 5th to go ahead and show it. He was leading the outside lane. He is now towards the tail end of the inside in the 32nd position. Jake Nichols. The drafty car Toyota to the outside. Lined up with Knoll, lined up with everyone else, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And they will drop right back to the bottom. Solar Flare is on a heater with 93 laps to go. They've got their machines up front, and those Toyotas are ready to rock. Every time we go racing on a super speedway, they ask, what are the speeds? Bottom of your screen, you see it 193 miles per hour. That is for the Patrick Mooser machine. Let's check that. I believe it is Patrick Mosey in the 4th spot. Schaefer, Cabot. Don't look now, but Schaefer on the outside's got company, and he's ready to roll. Two by two they roll. We haven't seen a Chevrolet up front to fight for the lead just yet. Patrick Mosey in 5th, Cabot, Stort, Turner, Yonashiu back to 9th, Ryan Swan in 10th. Nolan Nichols hooked up on the bottom, and the drafty car machines are drafting well back to turns 3 and 4. The sights and sounds here at the World Center of Racing. Always fun, always exciting to go ahead and hear different drivers, what they think heading on in. And you're at the point of the race where you start thinking to yourself, okay, listen, what's come and gone is the start. You're in a rhythm, you got opportunities ahead, you can either take it now, you can ride in the back. The unpredictability side is what everyone truly worries about. But what to do, that's all being thought about. As you're a viewer back at home, you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, now they're racing 2x2. They're in a rhythm. But for the ones that have crew chiefs, for the ones that have spotters, it's nonstop talking. Hey, where's this driver? I like working with him. Where's my teammate? Is he up front or is he going to be back here with us? And what you start realizing is even though you see a rhythm and you get used to it, nonstop figuring things out will be happening for the entire 250 miles. 90 laps to go. Noel to the outside, had to block the move of Reese Schaefer. Schaefer in 97 looking to become the first Chevrolet to lead in this year's Area 500. That's Adam Cabot to the outside. Bailey Turner right with him. Reese Schaefer in 97. Can he just get that runoff exit? It's Toyotas on the bottom. It's bow ties on the outside. Reese Schaefer will lead that lap. Yes, he does. And the bow ties will strike just in or around the first 12 laps. Highest running Ford at one point was that of the Nate Stewart machine. He's back to the 13th spot. Now make it 14th and still the highest running Ford. Who's next on the list? Well, I would think back to Josh Cottle, a late entry into this year's Area 500. He's up to 16th. Can he perform the last of first challenge? And it didn't take him long to break into that top 20. Think back just 4 or 5 laps ago. What did you see? Well, you had the single file inside line and almost a separation of a Group 1 and Group 2. That's all gone. It is 43 drivers strong running up at this front group. Check that. Never mind 40 strong because Robertson, Weishart, and Blaze McKinney have all lost the draft. That's 41st, 42nd, 43rd, 40 drivers strong, ripping to turn 3. Inside lane doing exactly what they need to do, stopping any type of move on the outside. Once again, new aero package, first time all season. You'll see it. You'll see this aero package also at Talladega. What to talk about with it? The big runs. They're mostly gone, and what it's done is actually clean up a lot of races in the league sign at Daytona. You think back to the e-ticket event, the Florida 500. What was the big talking point? The runs are a lot slower. FTF, big talk. The runs were a lot slower. The Coke Series, when they race at Daytona, you can't build up those runs. In theory, you don't expect many cautions to come out early, but once you get to 10 to go, 15 to go, 20 to go, you still got well over 36 cars running. It's going to be a dead heat because even though those runs are not as big and as bold as they once were, desperation is set in for anyone well outside this top 10. And how about this one? What's great about this community? There's some that support. Eric W., the $2 super chat said, $50 in iRacing money to drivers with the most laps led. Who has led the most laps currently in this race? It is Seth Knoll. And I guarantee you at some point a spotter is going to hear that and say, go out there, start leading some more laps. That's $50 going your way. As quickly the Toyotas of Solar Flare jump right to the outside and take charge like they did just from the drop of the green flag. Solar Flare and Seth Knoll leading. Jake Nichols and others. Continue to watch back to that inside. Patrick Mosey, Reese Schaefer. Schaefer got 4 laps under his belt before he lost the lead. Cabot, Turner, Nichols, Bowie. Brandon Bowie has raced on this channel before. You think back to the 2023 NWP 400. Haven't seen him since, but there he is outside at 6th. Top 2 inside lane. What's that pit road bubble looking like? Well, you will see drivers pitting in or around lap 35, 32, all the way upwards of maybe lap 42, 43, depending on how this night rolls. Expect drivers to want to stretch the fuel as much as they can. They can't do it on a one stop. Let's just be honest. You're going to have to be able to do it on a 2, but depending on the strategy, if this race goes green all the way through, you can expect someone to try something bold. Now, the leaders of the race, well, they're not saving fuel. And we all know about fuel saving. You're NASCAR fans, including on the modern day side of super speedways. That means one thing. If you're sitting 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th, you can lay on that throttle a little bit more. You'll be able to stretch that fuel run. But with it being 100 laps, we don't expect many to try to even attempt to reach the 50-lap mark unless we get a caution early. You get a caution early, everyone you expect to come down pit road, and if the race runs green the rest of the way through, you can then expect it to be a 2-stop, as in the first caution coming out, everyone coming in, and the rest of it to be under a green flag run. Projected, it is still to be a 2-stop under green flag conditions. So you may have some saving depending on what target they want to make on a certain lap. Others hard in the throttle. Adam Cabot to the outside. He'll take a lap lead. Now working 82 laps to go. Win and you're in. Remember, these drivers are thinking full season points. The Area 500, the biggest race of the 2025 season for the Area Cup Series. Some just want to win this race, but most want to think championship. When the season ends, can you be the champion at the end of the year at Charlotte come July? Well, the question that might be going ahead and being answered depending on a couple things. Well, you got the playoff system. So if you win at Daytona, as long as you just run well, you should be good to go. There's win and you're in. The playoffs begin at Bristol. They go to Nashville, Las Vegas, Auto Club, and then the championship there at Charlotte. You want to be the final driver heading to Charlotte with a shot. Brandon Bowie knows just how to do that. Staying up front, and he's got Noel and Scioli sitting second and third. Hunter, what do you got for us? And we'll wait on that in just a moment. Looking to go ahead and get updates. 81 laps to go here in the Area 500. So 2x2, a little bit deeper in the field. Brandon Bowie is the race leader in 54. The mass shuffling, we talk about it consistently every Tuesday and Friday night. Racing on a super speedway, it's almost like the New York Stock Exchange. Buy high, sell low. What can you do here? Can you net gain on different areas and kind of make things work? Well, for a lot of drivers, they're looking for one big thing. Find buddies. If you can take the run, roll with it. Hunter, what do you got?
I heard from the radio communications with Jacob Bell, Ben Pierce, all those guys that they're looking at about halfway on their fuel right now. Could be pinning somewhere around 60 to go if this thing goes green, maybe a couple laps earlier. And then the percentage of the field from Solar Flare Racing, from one driver I heard, there's 90% of the field that are appreciative of the way that the three cars with the same paint scheme are racing up front. They begin with drafty, end with cars, so some of the field not liking the way Solar Flare is leading this one in the early stages, but still a long ways to go.
Well, at least the cars look nice at the end of the day. I think everyone can agree on that one. The Solar Flare guys have definitely had the upper hand on the field early on. Good to know, Hunter. Hopefully we can learn a little bit more about the 7 and the 1. Those two have been up front the entire race, and hear what their opinions are as well. Always fun to hear what drivers think, including with each other. A lot of pushing, shuffling, and shuffling of the deck. Now with 78 laps to go here in this year's Area 500. I want to say thank you to Eric W. for gifting 5 memberships, with Lucky Duck Motorsports coming in saying, here's the membership. Lucky Duck having a nice whole in the IDK Player YouTube channel, including the NR Night in America community, having drivers race in e-ticket events. You think about Douglas New Bigging, and for all the area fans, you know Doug very, very well. Unfortunately, not able to run in 2025, but New Bigging looking to hopefully be back in the next season, that being season 8. You know, it's that time of the race. Sit back, relax, and turn it up. Wanted to go ahead and surprise you. Let nobody know that Turn It Up was back on the IDK Player YouTube channel, but it very, very much is. You're watching the Area 500 live on YouTube with the power of iRacing. So glad for everyone to come in and join us and have a great, nice, beautiful Monday night, as it is League Night in America. Area 500 has yet to see any cautions, at least up to this moment. 76 laps to go. We're clocking them off one at a time, and a lot are talking about Solar Flare, how this team has been able to just lock in and hold on. They got 4 drivers up front. They start with Drafty, they end with Carr, and right now they got 4 Toyotas all sealed to the inside lane. You look a little bit higher, who's back? Travis Beckner, who cycled way to the back at one point in this race. Well, he's doing one thing. He's up front, and he's contending once more. He's got Groner, he's got Slaughter to the 8 as well. These drivers are ready to rock and roll and see if they can bring it to those Toyotas. Abbott, Nick Silver, no surprise, Silver and Bowie will be working together if they can. Currently both toe-to-toe. Ooh, Slaughter a little wide and high. They're off turn number 4. And the outside lane's momentum ceases to exist. 75 laps to go in this race, down to 74. We've been showing the top 20 on the left side of your screen. You'll see where all 43 drivers are running. 42 on the lead lap, 1 just a single lap down, that being Blaze McKinney. McKinney has gone a lap down and well off the pace currently as of this moment. Weishart, he's lined in with that Robinson. That's 41st and 42nd outside of the main running order. Last driver to be in this herd, well, it's not Ryan Swan. It's that of Ben Pierce. Pierce is now 39th, so every single driver running 40th on back has lost the draft. No stages here in area. We start the race and end the race with the checker flag. Only reason you should see, you should see the caution is if there is an incident on track warranting the yellow. Let's go ahead and chime in just one more time with Hunter Sleppy. Sleppy, what do you got?
I've been told from the 7 of Skyoli himself that Drafty Car said that they cannot lift for the entire race. And then nothing to report from Patrick Moose as of yet. He's not in many of the Discord calls or any of the channels, but one channel I've been visiting frequently, Slaughter Sim Racing. Their drivers are not happy with the way this race is going. I'm not sure if you caught it in the beginning of the race, but there was a stack-up involving a couple of their drivers. Garrett Grant wasn't too pleased about it. Neither was Ryan Swan. He's not having fun as well. David Weinshart's off in the back. He's not having fun either. Neither is the 3 of Brad Slaughter, who's also in that little stack-up in the beginning. And then some of the calls that they've been in the middle of, they have just, they're having a handful right now. It's gone off to a rocky start for that group. Everyone else is pretty calm for the moment.
Thank you, Hunter. Well, you know, that's very interesting because you hear Skyoli, you hear Moose, and they got their opinions. At the end of the day, listen, you may not like how the race is going with you for 72 laps to go, but if you go to victory lane very quickly, you can expect in that post-race interview to be a night and day transition. Solar Flare, I think that's going to be a name we're going to be hearing all year long, like you have heard in years past. They have got a handful on this field. Turner, Silver, and others. You heard from Slaughter how he got shuffled back, working his way closer to the front. You're still eyeing a two-stop strategy, at least as of this moment. But it's a 7, 1, and 73 leading the way on the inside. Love the action. You want to see more of it? Well, League Night in America will be happening every Monday night unless something does happen to change. We'll give you an update on the IDK Player Discord as well through our different social media sites. Next week, the Area Cup Series will be headed to Homestead Miami Speedway live just a week from today. Love the action, love the broadcast. You want to go ahead and get your friends involved? Go ahead and tweet out what's been going on with the Area 500 with the league, because you know everybody wants to see what that finish is going to come down to. Noel Nichols and a Sogak has found his way into the 4th spot, and it's a 4-car breakaway. And one of the big things about this aero pack is they said, which is a little more prominent at Talladega than Daytona, it's the breakaway. And we know about the breakaway because it's easier to lose the draft with that update. But just right off the gun, you saw that top 4, top 5 scoot away from the bow ties. Nick Silver, Brandon Bowie, we expected him to work at some point during the race. They're now on the inside lane, single filed out. And they said, well, you're not going anywhere. Let's hook him up and reel him back in. Lane 2, it's high and it's mighty. As it continues to thunder its way forward, that being the 17. First one on the outside, Adam Cabot. Cabot's got a slam to the back end, and he's toe-to-toe for what looks to be that 3rd, maybe give it the 4th lane. Knowles got Nichols, and I don't expect him to really make a change for the race lead. Now, it has become very prominent, very understood. Most laps led. We'll go ahead and get you $50 through Eric W. Eric W. Letting everyone know that will be coming through iRacing credits. Well, I would say Knowles still has the most laps led, but I don't think it's going to be for long as Scioli continues to go ahead and knock them off one at a time. 11 laps in of the 33 have all been led by that of lucky number 7. Jake Nichols in 73 and Sogak in 88. They're kind of just riding in line. Nick Silver, he's toe-to-toe, and he's got Adam Cabot to the outside. Cabot does have 1 lap led so far in this race. Swan has dropped back to 40th, no change there. Look at the drivers that have lost the lead draft. It is still 40th on back. Now Matthew Bell being the last driver currently riding in line and waiting for something to work. Bell, Nichols, Culberson, and Curran in that 36 spot. 3 wide they roll. So far, it's been clean and green for this year's Area 500. But as mentioned in the pre-race show, as mentioned a couple laps ago, yes, teamwork will make that dream work. And it's looking that way, at least in the early portions of this race. Bailey Turner. He sits 25th. Brandon Bowie inside. Lined up, no big change. All right, you're getting to the area where these drivers are thinking about pitting. And when pit stops will be made, 35 laps in, you're heading into that bubble of drivers thinking about coming in, other drivers thinking about staying out. And when are you going to make that move? The teams undoubtedly will be pitting together. No shock in that. But you can also expect some of these drivers to latch on to other teams if they already don't have any affiliation. How does that work? Pretty simple. Some of these drivers will come over the microphone saying, hey, we're pitting this lap. This is how it's going to work. Others will come over. They'll give their 2 cents. And it will basically roll just like that. Currently thinking and sitting. You can expect the first 4 or 5 drivers that come in together. What about 5th? What about 6th? What about 7th? Well, they are Chevrolets, but soon to be determined. And already drivers starting the mass migration to the inside lane. Bailey Turner. Reese Schaefer back there in 12th. Dylan Alt in 13th. Last time Dylan Alt raced on this YouTube channel, that was for the Daytona 2.4 back in 2024. And we've seen before with pit stops, that can be a make or break in the race. When you have a skillful series, a skillful league, nothing but skill with the drivers, you don't expect many cautions. So let's say hypothetically this race goes caution-free, which it could. Well, if you go ahead and make a mistake on a pit stop, if you speed on entry, you speed on exit, you miss the pit box, you can lose the draft, you can lose time. You could be completely out of contention with what could be going down within the next 2 or 3 laps. Most drivers saying they can't get to 50 for a 1-stop. And they very much indeed could go ahead and make it a 2. Is 50 a possibility? I'm starting to question that because we've asked drivers in times past, hey, what's going on? Can you make it in? Can you make it work? Well, not that at all. Money stop, it's showtime. Here they come. Polimis, Hal, Brochu. First ones to go ahead and bite. Nate Stewart is in. Garrett Grant is in. Jacob Bellis found his way in. Mostly Toyotas, a mix of Chevrolets. Stewart, if I'm not mistaken, might be the only Ford that has found his way through. Right side's up for Polimis. Tanner Betha's got the left sides up on his car. Jacob Bell going away. And looks to be the first one to pierce off pit road. Group 2, it's coming soon. And when does Solar Flare come in? Won't be coming in this time. There's a huge chunk mainly of the back half of the field that pit before the front runners. Frankie Barroso in the 23rd position with that number 23. Group 1 came in. Is Group 2 come in this time by? You would expect so. And as you can tell, if you haven't already, yes, these drivers will have to pit at least one more time. Scioli, Knoll, Nichols, and a Sogak, they're all in. Oh, trouble, and a hit to the inside wall. That's the 88, and a Sogak. Nick Silver may have had a piece of it. You see the 9 machine have to go to a slow 77. Seth Berger completely misses his stall. Same with the number 3. Brad Slaughter. Issues with his stop. Patrick Mose gets off and away. Brandon Bowie gets it backfired. And these drivers will peel into Group 2. What about the third group coming in? That's going to be Clampett, Horn, Miller, Schaefer. Hall is in. Alt is in as well. Kwame Scott is on pit road. Shuffle the deck. Oh boy, did it. Scott is off and away. Service is off and away. And there sits Logan Clampett in 42. Rolling his way around, he'll come in. Provisional race lead. You expect it currently still to be Max Service. Unless the big group, can we call it the mothership, rolling its way down into 1 and 2. Could they overtake? I think they could. Jake Nichols on the outside will take the race lead and a hold of the Area 500. Man, oh man. Justin Anasogak. One of the solar flare machines, heavy damage to the nose of his 88. Let's check back and see what happened. This was just coming in. We're going to drop it back a little further. Coming to pit road. Did he get help? I think he very much did. And that was by the number 11 machine. Unbelievable. Philip Groner gets into the 88. And that's really all she wrote. You can go ahead and check on it again. Catches the left rear and creates a nice little wall. As drivers try to peel on through. Beckner got a piece of it in 28 as well. Brad Slaughter Jr. I don't think Slaughter knew what his pit stall was there in 3. He came in, had to back it on up. Same with Berger. A disaster of a stop for many drivers, and they'll be well outside the draft. Wild stuff. Hunter Sluppy, you got to hear it all. What happened?
Yeah, I was in the solar flare group when it happened, and Phil Groner just locked up and sent it in a little bit too deep. He apologized to Anasogak. They both had some damage. They're both back on the racetrack. And then some guys were trying to coordinate when and where to pit, like teams like Powerhouse Racing. They were the first ones to come down. That time 3 you saw the Solar Flare Racing group, and then mixed in with some of the Slaughter Sim Racing group. Travis Beckner, I've not heard comments from him yet, but I'm pretty sure he's a little bit livid to have some damage on his car. I'll go in and check in on that. Everything else, for the most part, fine with the radio.
All right, good to know. We're just under halfway through the Area 500. Great crowd watching back at home. I want to say thank you to everyone that has tuned on in. If you're just coming in, you missed a little bit of drama. We'll catch you up in just a matter of moments. But it has been caution-free. Solar Flare, that's the big team that we're going to be talking about all night long. They were dominant last year. They're kicking it off 2025 with the same outlook, trying to lead some laps. Let's get into some news that maybe you have missed. Eric W. putting up a bounty, and I don't mean a bounty on a driver, a bounty of most laps led. The driver who leads the most laps will get $50 in iRacing credits, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Eric W. will be providing all of that. Teamwork, it has made the dream work, and has made the dream work very well up front. Something to keep an eye out for, all those drafty car machines. Well, they have definitely rubbed a lot of drivers the wrong way so far in this race. How will that play out later on? Only time will tell. Continue to monitor, continue to watch. What else may be new? Pretty simple with what's coming on up, or what also just came up. That was pit stops. Pit stops came flying on through, and pretty simple to go ahead and say. It got wild when the second group came on in, and as Sogak turned sideways. Now you're watching working lap 47 to 100. 2 distinct groups rolling its way down the super stretch. Group 1, you have Thunder into turn 3. Group 2, coming just into view. And that may be Hayden Swank in 70. That's leading the herd, one of the Lucky Duck drivers. Josh Connell, once again, a late entry into the Area 500. He is there rolling around. Do you all back at home enjoy League Night in America? Because I very much do, and hopefully you do as well. We asked the chat down below, will we see green flag pit stops in this year's Area 500? 78% said yes. 78% were right. Let's ask the big question. Will we see overtime? And that's a real big question we're going to ask. We'll soon then ask, will we go caution free? Some things to mention. Lap car on the inside, that is the number 67. And that is Connor Horn, which leaves a lot of daylight open for an inside lane advantage. Two drivers drop down low. Kwame Scott is one of them. A third one may be Scioli. And Scioli will drop down there in third. Noel, Nichols, Hall, Turner, that's the top five. Haven't seen Kwame Scott break inside the top five all race. And I would not be surprised if that is changing. As low as 40th at one point. Locked in and rolling. And so far, we see nobody really breathing out of the throttle. It's going to be all hard nose the rest of the way, knowing they still have to pit at least one more time. Bailey Turner, John Hall, Hall to the outside, Turner on the bottom. Jonathan Evans in 26 on the outside, Jake Nichols on the bottom in 73. And after that cycle of pit stops, you got Barrett Polimas, who has broken into the 6th position. Brochu in the 9th. Scott, we just talked about him in 6th. He drops back to 10th. 2 by 2, it's for the race lead. What to do. John Hall, he has an idea. Go out there and lead this thing. Group 2. Kind of dispersed just for a matter of moments, a little bit deeper on. We're trying to form up single file. Top 20 shown left side of your screen. 19 drivers in this main group. Patrick Mose in 20th. The one now leading that second group over 8 seconds back. Evans, Howell, Noel, and Polimas. Polimas up to 7th. And Evans on the outside will get a run. He's got Howell right locked in with him. Reese Schaefer, he led a couple laps earlier in this race. He now drops back to the 10th position after the cycle. Put 4 on the board. But for the first time in a little while, we'll see a new race leader. Jonathan Evans in 26 leads him across the line. Evans with the advantage, Payne Howell in second. Barrett Polimas back to 4th. Bailey Turner, Sam Brochu. And you still got Nichols, Scioli. Should we say Scioli? I keep making that mistake. Apologies on that. Scott all in service. Lined up 12th and 13th. John Hall, P2. Oh, slam to the back end of Evans. Ladies and gentlemen, we are past halfway in the 2025 Area 500. I'm John Ramos, the voice of NR. Want to say hello and welcome as you guys are enjoying League Night in America. What a fun race we have had. Strategy, a little bit of drama, teamwork, and now that's starting to shuffle out as you see Peyton Howell in 52 take the race lead to the outside with Barrett Polimas in 79. Trouble one through the grass. And comes back up the speedway. That was Nathan Stewart. Stewart, Scott got a piece of it. And Nick Silver may have been tagged as well. No caution from it. Wow. And really just happened quickly. Let's watch the replay. Oh, man. Kwame Scott with a hip check. And it really weakened out the back half of the main group. Watch once more, this time from a different camera view. And you did see the check up there on the outside lane. Jeremy Miller in 30. Miller got checked up. Scott, wrong place, wrong time. And it's really, I think, starts with Dylan All, if not the 20 machine. No, just a checkup on the outside, and Miller didn't get woed up. Jammed on the brakes. Nowhere for Clampett to go. Nowhere for Clampett in 42. Got the back end of Miller, and that was that. So Kwame Scott will drop all the way back to the 27th position. John Hall, the race leader, has less drivers to worry about, with 56 now make it lap 57 being put on the board. First retiree from the race, Matthew Bell in 8. Has dropped well off the pace and put it behind the wall. Ryan Swan, lap machine, he's there in the 38th position, but running with the main group in his Rick's Hot Sauce machine. And they continue to roll just that way. The race leaders, well, they're stuck 3 wide. 2 machines on the bottom. And a Sogak being one of them, getting swallowed on up. Peyton Howell in 52 will lead that lap. Yet another Toyota bringing it back to the line. And all fun in that from there. Want to say thank you to everyone that's been hanging out with us here watching the Area 500 back at home. Central Mobile Homes is a big sponsor and was sponsoring the starting grid. Looking for a small or large home, a new shed, a triple crown trailer? Look no further than Central Mobile Homes. They've been proudly serving Florida customers for 29 years with a plethora of small and large home floor plans, shed designs, and triple crown trailers available in LaBelle, Okeechobee, Cluson, and Sebring. Head over to centralmobilehomeinc.com to get yours today. And we can't forget about Hendry County Motorsports Park. They have been a replay sponsor for us. Racing is back at Hendry County Motorsports Park. Join us this coming up week for racing. Once again, you can come on by to Hendry County Motorsports Park. Racing in Florida, always exciting, whether it's here on the High Banks or Daytona or your local short track. Trust me, Hendry County Motorsports Park, somewhere you want to go. And Elite Entertainment, their icon shown in the top left of your screen. Add some life to the party this fall with Elite Entertainment, located in Bowling Springs, South Carolina. Elite Entertainment provides high-quality band production to entertain at any location, including karaoke, singo, and bingo, with a whole lot more. Visit their Linktree, Elite Entertainment Inc., for all information to contact. Get to the point of the race where it's nearing that 40 to go mark. This is where, well, Enter Night in America viewers say, okay, now it's a feature race for like a race 3 and a race 4. While things got exciting, while things got bold, wildness that very much ensued, with this race still being caution-free. Ask the viewers, will we see overtime? 67% of you said, oh yes we will. Hunter Sleppy, what are the drivers saying?
Travis Beckner was a little bit upset a few moments ago when they stacked up a third in the middle lane. actually, sorry, I'm getting that confused. It was Jeremy Miller who was upset because he got stacked up and then he got hit from behind by Logan Clampett. I had info on Travis Beckner. He was upset at Hayden Swank earlier for not being able to hold a line while they were in the back just trying to log in some laps. And then the damage that he got on pit road, it's optional, it's all repairable, it's 5 minutes. So if they get a yellow and he's able to avoid that, then he'll be back in the running with a clean car. But for the most part, nothing else to report. Everyone just kind of grouped up trying to debate on when and where to pit and pit with who, and to try and avoid a kerfuffle going into pit road like we saw with Solar.
Yes, indeed. Still one more group to go ahead and, shall we say all groups, still left to come back and come into pit road. Hunter, if you don't have a second, I might ask you one more question before you do go. As the solar flare excitement in the chat really dropped, at least compared to the drivers?
A little bit so after that run-in on pit road with Hannah Sogak and Philip Broner. They haven't been as vocal. Still just trying to dial things in and try to log in some laps and see when and where they can make their opportunity to pit.
All right, good to know. You know what's great about live streaming? You get a live chat. For all the ones watching back at home, we brought Turn It Back Up for the first time in what feels like almost a full year. Yes, it'll be brought back for the World Grand Prix as well. In real life, they have the wave. How about this? Let's do Turn It Up just one more time, and this time we want to see it spam throughout the entire live chat, because it is the most fun you can have. Just nothing but the thundering sound of sim racing. Trouble in the tri-oval, 2 cars going around, and that's going to be Jonathan Evans in 26. Started when the drivers came off turn number 4, 2-car slide. We don't see much of a difference from that, at least on the damage side. I wouldn't say that. Maybe for number 73. Jake Nichols, a huge hit to the right side of his 73. And the drafty car Toyota is very much wounded. Almost just popped out of nowhere. We were under Turn It Up. The incident did go ahead and occur. Let's watch back. Now think about what just happened. Oh, yeah, you see the contact there with Polimas. Got the first swipe, then the second swipe on Evans, and a huge crunch to the right side of the number 73. So Evans gets tagged, and Jake Nichols gets the worst of it. Man. Watch back once more. It's another moment that happened, but we do stay caution-free up to this point. Quickly happened when they were coming off turn 4. Hunter, what do you got?
Yeah, so it was a bad bump from Polinas to Jonathan Evans, and rough rear damage for the most part for Jonathan Evans. And listening to the spotter, they said that it's probably the best damage possible that could have happened on the car. And then Jake Nichols, he said his car is still down. He's going to need a yellow to repair them.
Oh, man. So tough break for Nichols. For Evans, it's a big sigh of relief. kind of happen out of nowhere. This track has really been flooded and littered with machines spread out around. We're still caution-free with 33 laps to go, and they still have to go ahead and pit. Dylan Alt is up to 5th. Payne Howell and John Hall have been able to pull away. Well, we may have been caution-free, but it has been a very interesting area 500. Left side of your screen, you see the top 20 that will continue to split on through. Remember when I said Group 1, Group 2 working their way down the super stretch? And Group 2 is very close to maybe forming up with a Group 1. This is Brandon Bowie, who is lined up. Barroso on the outside, Curran and Nate Stewart kind of just running in this group. You see the damage on the 05, at least on the left front. These drivers have been at least closing the gap little by little to what is almost a Group 1.5 at this moment. And then you got Group 1. Then you got the 4 drivers that are the race leaders kind of trying to stretch away. So it is that single file. Drafting, yeah, it's going to be interesting if this first group can get back formed together. But in reality, 4 groups. Group 1 on your screen, now 4 cars at that. Group 2, that's where you got Dylan Alt. Group 3, it's kind of lined in with, should we say, Service and others. And Group 4, still all the way back with Nate Stewart. Went ahead and asked you guys, will we see overtime? 65% said yes. What's great about racing without stages? You can go caution-free. And I'm serious, that is actually something really cool. So I ask you all, do we go caution-free? And for the ones that are saying, oh, we need a caution, we need to bring the field back together, we need to spice this thing up, I would argue caution-free races are more entertaining in the sense of the fact that it never happens. It is so rare to see a caution-free race. It's like seeing a pitcher in baseball throw a no-hitter. Was it more exciting to see a grand slam or see the rare moment where nobody got on base? Now, I know, how dare I compare stick and ball sports to the world of motorsports, but in that theory, you go caution-free and you see a race winner, that means that driver had to be mistake-free, or at least make the least amount of mistakes to find victory lane. There was no rack 'em, there was no stack 'em and try it again. If this area 500 goes caution-free, you'll remember it because of that. I would say I wouldn't mind seeing a caution-free race because it's so rare, you may never see it anywhere else, including on this level of iRacing league racing. How about that? Remember Group 1, Group 2, the isolated group of 4? Not anymore. Turner and Alt, they have now connected. Nose to tail, that brings Knoll. Scioli and Miller back from 7th and 8th. And lined up at that they are. All running the inside lane, Jeremy Miller, Adam Cabot, Barrett Polimas sitting P10. Remember, just had that incident on the Speedway that did not bring out a yellow. Nose damage there on Logan Clampett. Clampett in 42. Sam Brochu back in 13th. Lined up single file with a group just behind him. Will be 27 laps to go this time by. Soon you will see an Area Cup Series playlist on this YouTube channel with the e-ticket events, the NR Cup Series, and NR Night in America with community events as well. This channel has really turned into a network, and that was the overall goal following the 2024 broadcasting season. Can we turn the iRacing side into more of a network? And I'm telling you right now, reading what you all are saying down in the live chat below, greatest thing we could have added was Monday night Area Cup Series action, because League Night in America is so much fun. These drivers have put on a heck of a show. Single file, yes now. Caution free, sure. But with 27 laps to go, you're going to be just on the edge of your seat when it's 7 to go, when it's 5 to go, when it's 4 to go. Will Howell still be the leader? Will Hall be the leader? Schaefer, Turner, Alt. I wouldn't look too far away from Dylan Alt there in 47. He has been one strong driver. For all the NR Night in America fans, don't worry. NR Night in America is back tomorrow night for its Tuesday night edition. And then this Friday, the 27th e-ticket event, the World Grand Prix. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to see, I'm not joking, 50 NASCAR Next Gens, I'm going to say it again, 50 NASCAR Next Gens, ripping 215 miles per hour down the Mulsanne Straight? You'll be able to see that this Friday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, because the e-ticket event that we're going to have on display will be fantastic. You don't want to miss it. 215 down the Mulsanne Straight for the 27th e-ticket event, the World Grand Prix. It's going to be as exciting as ever. Reese Schaefer, he led earlier in this race. He's finally found his way to third. And remember when it was Solar Flare setting a blaze to the field and hold on for the first 4 or 5 spots? Not so much anymore, because you got the drivers lined up nose to tail on the bottom. Powerhouse Racing with Peyton Howell. He's your race leader, has an average finish of 11th in area. 1 win, 3 top 5s, 9 top 10s, 117 laps led, might I add, before we took the green flag here tonight. So you can add 18 more to that list. And Peyton Howell is staring down the barrel of an Area 500 win, if he can hold off that of John Hall. Hall's been a lot of fun to watch, at least over the years. 8 wins in the 32 truck starts he has had. Pit road, it's wide open. And the thought I had, it's going to halt, because this is money stop. This is going to be the make or break, including if we go caution free. Polimas is in. Service. He's in. Michael Curran and others staying out. And you don't want to make a mistake from what you saw before. Brandon Bowie is in. Springer is in. Yonashinu is in. You saw gas and go, except for Sam Brochu. Left side's up. Group 1 comes to a close. What will we see here with Turner? Knoll, they're in as well. Oh, and a tight entry there for the 5. Max Service will not come to pit road. 23 to go. Jonathan Evans, remember he was involved in that incident. As the cycles go through, he's up to 6th. Seth Knoll coming out. Can they be in a provisional lead? Just behind, you got Miller and Hall. John Hall in 03, Jeremy Miller in 30. Can they squeak by? Yes, they can, very easily. Service is yet to come in. Curran, Nate Stewart, they have yet to bite the pit road. Dylan Alt to the outside. Two by two, Alt getting a shove in the behind. That's by the 17. Can you believe it? How this is all cycling through. When are they going to bite? Service is in. Curran is in. Stewart is in. Brad Slaughter Jr. is in. No mistakes. Jacob Bell is in. Patrick Mose is in. Yonashiro Hayden Swank, he's going to make the bite to pit road. Can they shuffle out in front of the leaders? I don't think so, and that's with heavy, heavy hearts, just knowing how good they have been. John Hall, Jeremy Miller, the top two with 21 laps to go. And they've got it made. Reese Schaefer, Seth Knoll, Logan Clampett, with James Scioli, Turner, Cabot. What to do, what to do. 20 laps left in this race. For all the race fans joining on in, you're watching the closing laps of the Area 500. Want to give a shout out to Rick's Hot Sauce at rickshotsauce.com. Some of the best hot sauce made locally in South Florida. Try their classics and their golden garlic, Palm Beach pineapple, and South Beach heat. Follow Rick's Hot Sauce for the Rookie of the Year battle in the Area Cup Series and see which driver brings home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie. Hall, the race leader, Jeremy Miller in second. And with 20 laps to go here in the Area 500, you're down to what you've got. You're down to the best. These guys have been really strong in times past. Single file on the bottom. That's how they roll. Knoll in fifth, Scioli in sixth, Turner, Clampett, and Cabot. That's eighth and ninth. Who's lost the draft? Howell, Polimas, Silver, and others. And it came all down to pit strategy. Now, if they can form up a super line here, they could, in theory, still catch that main pack. And I think that's exactly what they're going to try to do. John Hall, Jerry Miller. All in third, lap machine in the middle of that. That's the 65. That being Ben Pierce. Schaefer, Knoll, what can Knoll do? Scioli, Turner, Clampett. And then there's Adam Cabot. Cabot back in the 9th spot. And these drivers have done such a good job at racing. We're going to show the top 20 for the rest of this race on the left side of your screen. Look at these intervals. Go back to maybe just 30 minutes ago. It was completely different. This pack is completely shuffled out. Jeremy Miller in 30. He's sitting shotgun. And with 17 laps to go, I say he doesn't make the move to the last lap of this corner. The 609 drivers. Watching Miller and just knowing. Then you got Solid Rock. John Hall, one of the rookies that came up from the Truck Series. Had 8 wins in his 32 starts, leading the Area 500 with 16 laps to go. Dylan Alt, another Solid Rock driver. He sits third. Rookie, no change on that in NR Night in America. He's raced a couple times. Became a community event winner. And then you got Reese Schaefer in 79. The Bergarts Motorsports driver, average finish 17th with 4 top 10s. He's one of the guys that roll in thinking this is their best shot at winning all year. Want to say thank you to Ethan, dropping down the $2 super chat. 15 laps to go. We've had a fun time talking with Hunter. Sleppy, what do you got from us?
There's a lot of radio communication going on. Let's start with Connor Horn. He was upset with Logan Clampett checking up, heading into pit road, saying you cannot do that, and a bunch of curse words that I cannot say. The following lap he pitted, overshot his pit entry, went to go down into his pit box. He ended up getting collided into with Travis Beckner. No harm, no foul there. Connor just upset himself. Travis pointed out that if he's upset at him, he should be upset with himself. Also, Jake Nichols, the damage that he suffered on the front stretch a handful of laps ago. 7 minutes of optional repair. Ricky Springer at one point, his water temp was 289.
Oh, my
and then
goodness.
Powerhouse Racing, they're the most communicative out of everyone. They're trying to work with other cars and trying to set themselves up in a good spot for this run to the finish. And I should mention, I didn't even think this was a possibility, but Season 1 was the only time where the Area 500 went green from flag to flag. No caution whatsoever. It was the first and only Area 500 to do so. Closing in, this could be another caution-free race, but hard to imagine that for the Area 500. But guys just trying to team up with whoever they can that's close by to set themselves up in a good spot for the finish.
It's rare to see it, including in big events like this. But with 13 laps to go, so much is on the line. Thank you, Hunter. You guys saw it off the nose camera. Battle for the race lead. Solar Flare is back. Noel on the outside. Scioli is up there as well. In the 4th position, in Hall, the race leaders, as the Chevrolets up top. Holt the switchback to the bottom. Dylan all trying to do it all on his own. 12 to go. And the inside lane, it's all his, maybe not. Seth Knoll, bold move to the inside of turn 1. His drafty car, Toyota, goes top of the board with 12 laps to go. Was so good in his duel. Now can he finish it? 6 wins in area. An average finish of 4th. Can lucky number 7 come at the biggest event of the year? But you got to look at who's right behind him, Dylan Alt, and you know he's just not going to hold back. What to do with what you got? Jeremy Miller, P3, slams the back end of Alden 47. All to the outside. As the sun continues to fade and the shadows get long here at Daytona, 10 laps remaining in the Area 500. We asked you viewers, do we go caution-free? 38% said yes, 62% said no. And you just heard it from Hunter. Just one time has the Area 500 ever gone caution-free. That was the first season. Alt with Miller. Clampett with Turner. And Seth Knoll, where does he go? Back to 8th with Scioli. John Hall to the outside, makes it toe-to-toe with the 17. Adam Cabot, 9 to go. Top side Miller, Alt to cover. Lamp it inside. He's jammed up from behind with Turner. Miller with Hall. Jeremy Miller. He's going to hope to use the lap machines as a pick to hold down Dylan Alt. No, I think he's going to actually give room. And Alt will be forced to the middle lane. 8 to go. And how about it? Tandem drafting. Can you believe it? Top 2 together. 3rd and 4th together. 5th and 6th, Bailey Turner. Adam Cabot, they're together as well. Alt with Miller, Hall to the outside. He's going to cover. 7 to go from the World Center of Racing. Did we just hear an engine ignite? I think we did. Logan Clampett in 42. Let's go of an engine. He's out of the area 500. Oh my goodness. Listen back. On the bottom, he was with Alt. Look for the puff. Just in front of McKinney. Six to go, this time by. All on the outside, Miller on the bottom. Alt's gonna be right with them. Turner's gonna be downstairs. Top end shuffle. As everyone continues to work their way around. John Hall is going to have to fend off multiple drivers for the next 5 laps. Question is, can he do it? Gonna have to make something work. There's Seth Knoll there in 4th. How many laps has he led? 14. That compared to Hall, 15. Alt to the outside. Miller on the bottom. And the 47 will fall back in line. He's going to need help. Only way he wins this race, and he's going to pick up Reese Schaefer to see if that 97 can work something out. Knoll hoping and watching on from the 3rd position. Miller 2nd. I still don't think he makes a move until he absolutely has to. Single file inside lane. 43 drivers enter the area 500. 42 still running on the Speedway. Clampett and Bell, the only 2 out. 3 to go. And if you're 4th, you're 5th, you got to be thinking of making a move soon. There's just no way you ride in line to the end. Hall versus Miller. No move, calm, up front for now. And Alt's got to be speaking to Schaefer. He's got to be saying, hey, listen, we're going to have to make a move when it matters the most. But do you put your chips in the middle for the last lap? Or maybe do you try to make a move now? 2 to go in the area 500. Anything and everything is on the line. to the super stretch. No move by Miller. And Seth Knoll is going to have to pick up Dylan Hall. This is the type of event you have come to see. Caution-free for the first time since Season 1. Salamanca, 1 to go in the Area 500. And they're going to have to make it wide. Here comes Miller. Top shelf with Turner. Jeremy Miller rockets to the lead off turn 2. Now can he hold it? Adam Cabot, he's there in third. Has the lap machine in the 87. Seth Knoll to the bottom. Picks up Schaefer. This is the finish of the 2025 Area 500. Miller in 30. Turner in 25. Drag race to the start finish line. Bailey Turner steals it in a thriller at the line. Bailey Turner by inches. Can you believe it? And got it when it mattered the most. What a victory by the driver of the 25. Just 2 top 5s entering this race with 609 Motorsports. Average finish of 18th, and will punch his ticket to the area playoffs. What a victory in the Area 500. Oh my goodness. League night in America, fueling victories all year long in the Area 500. Put an exclamation point on the greatness in March. What a race, what a ride. And we'll watch back. We will watch back in just a matter of moments. They're calling 1/1000th of a second. That was the difference between first and second. You see the 67, that of Connor Horn. And he is a teammate. Nonetheless, there to Bailey Turner. Connor Horn will be racing in the World Grand Prix this Friday. To see if 609 can get an e-ticket win on this channel, but they'll celebrate with an Area 500 victory. Watch back on this finish. Unbelievable stuff. This is the stuff you look forward to, and now you can look forward to every Monday night. Watch once more. Darts to the bottom, Miller to try to cover. And that's how it ended. What a finish here at Daytona. We'll go ahead and chat with your race winner. As by just mere inches, 1/1000th of a second, Bailey Turner finds himself an Area 500 winner. And the 609 guys can go ahead and celebrate nonetheless. Fun race. Fun finish. We'll get him in here in just a matter of moments. Hunter Sleppy is here with us. Hunter, what did you think?
I absolutely could not believe that it came down to a photo finish. I said it would come down maybe to a last lap pass in the end, but I didn't think it would come that between teammates. And I was in the channel for 609. It got got so quiet coming off turn 4. The last thing I heard was Adam Caput saying, "I'm with you till 4." And then it was just dead silent from there. And for the most part, I thought Jeremy Miller had it, and then saw the move made to the inside by Bailey Turner, and they were being and banging, trading paint. And then looking at it up close, 1/1000th of a second, that ties for the closest finish in area history, dating back to season 6 between Kwame Scott and Jake Nichols. Unofficially, for the moment, it is 1/1000th of a second that separated Connor Horn's team, 609 Motorsports, 2 teammates, Bailey Turner and Jeremy Miller. Mentioned that he runs well on these super speedways, just came up 1/1000th short of becoming an Area 500 champion.
Let's talk to Bailey Turner. Turner, congratulations, you're an Area 500 winner. Turner, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
What a finish, what a race.
But yeah, that was amazing. Shout out to all the guys at 609. We timed that run perfect.
I mean, bullet fast when it mattered the most. You mentioned timing it perfect, being in the right place at the right time. Thought process, final lap.
Thought process leading up to the final lap was saving fuel because I wasn't going to make it. And then once we got just enough in the tank, me and Adam kind of laid back that whole second to last lap and built a huge run there out of 4. And knew that we were going to try to pick up Jeremy when they would inevitably ditch him, and they did, and picked him up, and then just waited to pull out until make sure that one of us would win it. And yeah, like I said, couldn't have timed that any better. I think photo finish, and yeah, just huge shout out to Adam and Jeremy there. Wish Connor was up there with us, but man, what a finish! That's amazing.
Unbelievable stuff. A photo finish when it mattered the most. What do you want to say to these viewers that watch back at home? They jammed in here on a Monday night.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. This was a huge event. Thanks to Area and everybody that puts this on, and thanks to all the viewers and everybody that was pulling for us there at the end.
How about it? Congratulations on your win, Bailey Turner. Big time win when it all mattered the most. We'll get ready to talk to Jeremy Miller, John Ramos. Oh my goodness, inches. That's all it came down to.
Yeah, seems to be a theme of life, right? Just a couple inches here or there, and I don't know. I want to win one of these so damn bad, Jonathan. I just, I've been here a few seasons, and that's close as I've gotten yet, and just, I feel like I did everything right. Got our team a 1, 2, 3, played fair until out of 4 where all bets were off, and just barely came up short.
We just are speechless with how great of a race that was when it all came down. But what else could you have done? I mean, that's such a tough question, knowing that it came down to inches. We're talking split second.
Yeah, I mean, I could have wrecked my teammate, but I'm not going to do that. And I mean, he didn't wreck me. I think we roughed each other up a little bit, but we did it about as clean as you can. Made sure we both crossed the line, first or second either way. And then Adam, same thing, P3. Like, could have made a move earlier and probably had a better chance to win for himself, but he stayed uniformed and got us 3 away from the pack to just settle amongst ourselves. And at the end of the day, Bailey just got that little bit shorter run around the track, I guess.
Wow. It's a great thing to think about, knowing, okay, you know what, you're leaving with some great points, right? You got a long season, but everybody wants to win this race. How do you put this behind you and you head into Homestead?
Yeah, I mean, just gonna try to run more consistent, not wreck a lot this year, and use these points to build forward, and just, 15 points days won't hurt as bad coming out of here with a second instead of a 40th. Just unfortunately, it was only 3 of us up there. Really thankful everybody at 609. Connor got mixed up early in pit road because of the alternate, screwing up the pit boxes, and he ended up in a different pit box than he should have been in. Just glad we got a 1, 2, 3 for him, and we're able to walk away with a smile, at least for the car owner.
Congratulations. At least you got your head up when it all mattered the most. That was Jeremy Miller. If you're going to have someone win by inches, you're going to have someone lose by inches, and you just saw it there. But Adam Cabot, man, you had to deal with a caution-free race. You had to deal with just changes with drivers coming to pit road, others staying out, but you still were able to find your way on the podium. Congratulations.
Man, I'm going to tell you, that was an area all-timer right there. That was such a cool race. So much strategy. I probably lost the draft like 6 or 7 times, more times than I could count, and I'm like, well, all right, I'm just going to fade back with like everyone else who lost the draft, and then just we just kept warming up and clawing back up there, and it was just about staying in it. It was so easy to get dragged back and to get stuck side by side with someone. You had to really just, focus on just staying in the draft and giving your chance a shot at the end. But how about 609 Motorsports? That is so cool for our team. That's probably the only time I'll ever be excited about a third place finish, and probably the only time I won't really go for a win. I mean, of course I was going to go for it if they got shuffled up, but we got lined up there, and I realized with our 3-car tandem that they were not going to be able to get by us. So,
right.
Man, that's so cool for our team. So pumped for Bailey. So pumped for Jeremy, who's also so close. I mean, I kind of just had to, like, who do you follow? You got two teammates drag racing to the line there. So, yeah, just really, really pumped for the team. Also, just an amazing start to my season. Anytime you go to a super speedway and you come out of the top 5 with points, that's a win. So to win the duel and then have our team win the race 1, 2, 3, that is absolutely a dream start to the season.
How about that? It was a wild race when it all came down to it. You're able to get a top 3 out of it. You got a season to look forward to. Is this a year of a championship? Yes, I just know 1 round in. There's a lot of racing left. But are you feeling hopeful?
I'm just going to say, yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, we're off to a hot start. Last season, I feel like I showed a lot of speed and won a race, but then didn't have much success outside of that. No top 5s, but, had the speed, just didn't have the circumstances to work out. So I think you have a full season under your belt, understanding these guys, how they race, how these races tend to play out strategy-wise. The Solar Flare guys are unbelievably good, and obviously Seth Knoll is very good. He's going to be tough to beat most of these weeks, but I see no reason why we can't be up there with him and give him a run for his money.
Congratulations on your strong finish.
Appreciate it. Thanks, John.
And we will go from there. We got Connor Horn to go ahead and speak with. If I'm not mistaken, Horn he's definitely a part of 609 Motorsports, if I'm not mistaken, Hunter.
He is the head honcho over at 609 Motorsports.
Should we go chat with him? What do you think?
Might as well. He's got to be happy. I mean, he might not have had a great race himself, but the rest of his team sure did.
That's what I'm thinking.
1, 2, 3.
I was like, hey, Mr. Team Owner, what do you think? Connor Horn, congratulations on at least getting a team win.
Thank you. I can't. It's kind of a weird feeling, honestly. It's definitely the biggest moment as a owner in this series, no doubt about it. I barely even know what to say. I finished 40th, and I'm smiling the most after 40th place finish I ever have. I think someone got put into the race late, and it put me from the first stall at the end of pit road to the stall at the very beginning of pit road. So my race was done after the first cycle because my stall went from one end of pit lane to the other. But I helped them best I could on the second run. There was a big stack up. Adam was also drafted. I got him back up there, and hopefully at least played a little bit of a difference. Jeremy, Adam, Bailey, they work so well together. I think all 4 of us work so well together at Super Speedways. I just wish I could have been up there to help him out too, but I'm so proud of Bailey. He's been on a tear on iRacing lately. He's got so many wins in other leagues lately. And what a finish with him and Jeremy. Jeremy's so close, but he had a great run as well. Hopefully start of a good season for him, and Adam just did his part perfectly. I know Adam probably didn't want to finish it that way as the 3rd guy in line, but he did a great job. I couldn't be more proud of all 3 of those guys. That was really, really cool to watch unfold, and I couldn't see him. I was just hoping the ticker would go back over and they'd be up there, and they were. I mean, 1, 2, 3 in the biggest race of the season is so huge. I'm just so happy for Matthew Tomaleri as well, who sponsors our cars, paints our cars. He does everything. So thankful to get him 1, 2, 3 in a race with so much on the line, so much viewership, great publicity for him, and just our whole 609 Motorsports team. Just hope we can sweep the week, and we got Jeremy and Jeremy Miller doing all 3. Jake Nichols will be in our cars Tuesday, Thursday. Seth Knoll will be in the trucks on Tuesday. Philip Groner's gonna be in our trucks Tuesday, Thursday as well, and this should be a really fun one. This season, no doubt. And Seth Knoll's going to be in our trucks on Tuesday, and it should be. Skylar's going to be in our Xfinity car on Thursday. So I'm so stoked. Can't thank everyone enough who made this possible.
Heck yeah! Can't wait to see what you guys do for the rest of the week with Area. We know that'll be live on Twitch for the ones that are wanting to watch the rest of the week of all the Area fun. Connor Horn, congratulations on a team win.
Thank you. I appreciate it, John. Hunter.
Oh, I accidentally dragged him back just a little bit too prematurely. Hunter, we're going to bring it back to our studios here in Nashville, Tennessee. Oof, okay, catch your breath. That was a pretty good race. Nonetheless, caution-free, but it still had its drama. Hunter, what stood out to you?
Just the amount of teamwork that goes on. I really haven't been inside much of these channel calls throughout my course of in area, but it's just interesting to see just the amount of teamwork that goes on, and also the amount of frustration that goes on within the team, whether that be getting cut off by a driver, getting damaged from another driver, getting dumped by someone. A lot goes on behind the scenes here when these races are live, and really shocked to me that we went caution-free. Like I mentioned, first time since Season 1, the first ever Area 500 where we went caution-free. Went on a little bit too long. It was 120 laps, and then it shortened down to 100 back in Season 2. But once again, for the first time since Season 3, we had a pass on the last lap, and it was the pass of the season so far. We're only one race in, but that is probably not going to be topped by any other finish this season. 1/1000th of a second in the biggest race of the Area 500, and that made the difference between winning $100 and $75 for those in not Solar Flare. Sorry, that was 609 Motorsports, the Solar Flare guys. They had a shot in the beginning of the race. It seemed like they were going to be the cars to beat, and throughout the course of the race, one by one, they went down. 609 stepped up to the plate, and they're walking away as Area 500 champs, starting off the season with a 1-2-3.
Bang, bang, and bang. And that's what you want to see. What a great race. And as broadcasters, I was told very early on what the overall goal of a broadcaster is to give you a reason to tune in next week. I think all 100 laps tonight gave everybody watching a reason to tune in next week at Homestead Miami Speedway. Hunter, thank you so much for hanging out with us, getting all the pit reporting, but next week's going to be fun because guess what? With a championship on the line, every week of area is going to be edge of your seat. Let's actually go ahead and bring it back to the racetrack itself so we can go ahead and go through the official results. Here they are. Bailey Turner winning the race. Miller, Cabot, Knoll, Schaefer, Hall, Alt being that top 7. Howell, Polimas, and Scioli rounding out that top 10. Springer, Barroso, Silver, Bowie, Evans, and Bell, Sweet 16. Brochu, Service, Cottle, and Stewart being that top 20. Jake Nichols, Curran, Scott, with that being Kwame Scott. Yonashinu with Moose, should I say, with Patrick Moose. Betha, Swank, Pierce, Weishart, and Grant being the top 30. Didn't get to hear much out of Seth Berger after missing the pit stall. Ryan Swan, 32nd. Beckner, Nichols, Culberson, Slaughter, McKinney with Robertson, and a Sogak. Connor Horn with the final 3 being out of the race. Logan Clampett, Philip Groner, and Matthew Bell. That is how the running order ended. We're going to once again bring it back to our studios here in Nashville, Tennessee to give you all some updates. There will be no community posts tomorrow for what we have going on, but we are streaming NR Night in America Tuesday night. Once again, no community posts to go ahead and let you guys know. Tuesday night is NR Night in America on this channel. Area will be having racing Tuesday and Wednesday night on their Twitch. It's e-ticket week. It is event week for NR Night in America. This Friday, it will be the 27th e-ticket event, the World Grand Prix. 50 drivers will be taking the green flag and ripping 215 miles per hour down the Mulsanne Straight. We'll continue to promote that on our community page here on this YouTube channel, Instagram, X, and Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord yet, link to that is in the description below. If that does not work, hopefully the link that I'll be sending before the end of the stream works perfectly for you. It has been an absolute pleasure to be racing with you all. Let's check out that trailer one more time. But I'm John Ramos. It has been a pleasure broadcasting area here with Hunter Sleppy. And for the area fans, we'll see you next week at Homestead Miami Speedway for round number 2.
Orlando ain't never seen anything move that fast.
Welcome to the 27th e-ticket event, the